If Denver's been on your short list of places to move to in the next coming years, you're going to want to watch this video because I'm going to give you the top 5 things I love about living in the Denver, Colorado area. Let's go. Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim Kampmann, and as you can probably tell, I'm not actually in the city of Denver right now. I'm in one of the amazing suburbs just to the south, but I'm going to give you top 5 reasons I love living in Denver and what so many other people have found that they love when they think of a relocation here, when they come to visit. So, starting off, number 1, the scenery and the things to do. So guys, you've seen all the pictures, you've probably seen lots of drone shots, whether it's my channel or another channel that you've been researching the Denver, Colorado area, but it's all true. It's a very beautiful place to live. We have the mountains just to the west of Denver, and depending on where you live here in the Denver metro area, you could have stunning views right out your back door when it comes to all things Denver. But not only that, you do have tons of things to do that are real nearby. Now, I have mentioned that like the interior of Denver is kind of very urban and kind of definitely more city life than what a lot of people think of when they think of a move to Denver, but so many of our suburbs like Golden and Morrison and Castle Rock have things to do right out your back door, whether that's mountain biking, hiking, exploring one of our many state parks, or exploring any of the national parks. There's just a lot of things to do real nearby, so you don't have to travel a long way to, have a little weekend getaway. It's real easy to do that. If you're flexible and maybe you can work from home and go up to the mountains on a weekday, it's absolutely glorious. It's not packed with a lot of other people. They're trying to make the most of their weekend by getting up there. So really, really a beautiful time, beautiful places to get up to, all within an hour or less of Denver. Okay, next off, we're going to talk about climate and weather. And this is a big draw for a lot of people, and the reason I've chosen to stay is because of our climate and our weather here. So kicking it off, like with summer, really, really beautiful. We live in a dry climate, arid climate, so it definitely, though it gets hot here, you can escape the heat. Like if you're in the sun and it's 95 degrees, if you're able to move to the shade, you're gonna see some immediate relief, 5 or 10 degrees cooler in the shade than it is in the sun where you're baking. Compare that to places like the south where you have humidity of 80% and you can't escape that heat no matter what you do. It's just always cutting through you, and the suffocating heat and sweat. You don't have that in Denver. You also, since it's drier, and though we are, do have our 100-degree days, we don't have those excessive heat warnings like you see in places like Arizona or New Mexico or Death Valley, California, where, the advisory is to stay inside and you can't go out and enjoy, your summers. You want to be outside, you want to be able to enjoy it before 10 o'clock at night. You have tons of opportunities to get out, enjoy the beautiful weather through the summer. Fall is probably our most beautiful time of year. Fall changing colors, we have, crisp, cool nights and crisp, brisk mornings. And then we still get pretty warm during the day. September and even October, you'll have a lot of days where it's 70, 75 degrees throughout the majority of the day. And then at night it cools down. And of course, all the beautiful colors of leaf changing to those orange, red, greens make it a very desirable place to live. I've heard it's not quite as good as places like Vermont and New Hampshire, but it is very picturesque. Now, little insider tip, if you are going to make a trip up to the mountains to see some of the aspens change, that's kind of a popular thing to do in the fall time. There are peak times to go and check these out, but man, you do not want to go on a weekend day. You might sit in traffic for 2 or 3 hours to look at some foliage, and as beautiful as it may be, I don't think it's worth it. You can look at the pictures, go during the week, get up, get back, enjoy your time. Don't go up on the weekends when everybody else is going up. Next, we got winter. Winter's pretty mild here for the most part. Yes, we get a lot of snowstorms, and we have a lot of times when it is pretty cold, 20, 30 degrees, but we don't have that bitter, biting cold that you see in the northwest where it's really humid and a lot of rain and it just cuts right through you. But we also don't have those long snaps where it's really cold, single digits or negative digits that you see in the Midwest, and you don't have those ice storms that you see in Nebraska or Kansas. You know, winters, to be honest, are actually pretty mild. We don't have that many times when it's just, you know, unbearable. We might have 2 to 3 days in a row where highs are only in the single digits and we have a freeze warning in effect or something like that, but it usually passes pretty quick and then we're back to sunny days. So while it does snow, you know, quite often during the winter, and you might get 2 or 3 inches, you know, especially in the springtime, that melts off in a day or 2 days and you're not having to deal with that anymore. So definitely pretty mild winters for the most part. That brings us back to spring, and springtime I will say is the worst season in Colorado. Absolutely the worst, because you're kind of done with winter, you're prepared for summer, you're excited to have that warmer weather, and you have a lot of days where it's kind of chilly. And I will say 40 degrees in April is really a lot colder than 40 degrees in December. It's just more humid, we have more moisture in the air, and it feels colder, and really the only reason it sucks so bad is because you're ready to be over with winter. You're ready for the beautiful sun to be hitting you, you know, long days, and summer seems to take its time in showing up. So I would say springtime is probably our worst season of the year here in Colorado, but overall beautiful weather year round. Okay, reason number 3 I love living in the Denver metro area is there's a lot of friendly communities all around the Denver metro area. Now, Denver specifically, the interior of Denver, not known as being as friendly as a lot of the suburban places around. I have noticed, like on the western end, closer to the foothills, even our mountain communities, very friendly people, always willing to help, lend a hand, smile at you. Further to the east, I don't know why, I've just noticed this, just giving you the truth, not quite as friendly as people on the west side. And again, further south, I have noticed very, very friendly communities and family-friendly communities. So if you're looking for a place where you can build relationships, get to know people, that smaller town feel while not sacrificing all the bigger urban amenities and having a lot of things to do that are nearby, one of the suburbs of Denver can be the perfect option in my opinion, because you're getting that smaller, friendly community feel. You may even have things that are local to that community to do, or events that the cities or towns put on, parades, 4th of July celebrations, farmers markets on the weekend. Can really get that smaller community feel in one of those suburban areas that you might not get in the interior of Denver. And reason number 4, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, but that's okay because it's my personal perception of it and my experience. But Colorado, there's still a lot of room to roam around and feel, you know, free and, you know, have things to do and not be all stacked on top of each other. Now, granted, I do live in one of the suburbs of Denver. I'm not in that interior pocket of Lodo or Rhino or one of those particular neighborhoods that's very urbanized. You know, I give up the walkability to live in the suburbs, but it's nice not to have people stacked right up on top of you. I don't sit in traffic most days. You know, traffic can get bad anywhere if there's an accident on a particular road or something, but when I compare it to places like Houston or Dallas or South LA or any places in that, you know, San Diego portion of California, our traffic is not bad compared to a lot of those places. It's not bad compared to like Washington, DC or Philadelphia, where everything gets gridlocked and it's just, you're waiting in traffic all the time. Everyone's pushing each other to get out of the way. Rush, rush, rush. You're gonna find that in the interior of Denver, but on the outskirts, you're not gonna experience that. It's a little bit slower pace of life, more enjoyable, friendlier people, and the culture and vibe is a big mix. California, Texas, Midwest influence. So, you know, I know on the East Coast, it's a lot of pushing and everyone man for himself, and it's a little bit more faster pace, and some would call it rude. But Colorado, you really have more of a laid back vibe. A lot of people are super friendly. And reason number 5 I love living in the Denver metro area is there's a lot of clean and safe communities right outside of Denver. Now, the interior of Denver, yes, has been plagued with homeless problems and rising crime rates and things like that, similar to the parts of Aurora that you may have heard about on the news. But so many parts of the outskirts or the suburbs of Denver, places like Lakewood, Littleton, Arvada, Broomfield, Castle Rock, Parker, all have really nice, safe, clean communities, and you don't deal with those same problems that seem to plague a lot of the big cities around the US. So there's tons of safe, clean communities. If you're looking for something like that, I know exactly the neighborhoods that you should be checking out on your visit to Denver. So that's another reason I really love living here. I wouldn't trade it for like Chicago, where you have a big city and there's, you know, rampant crime rates, or LA, New York, any of those places. While Denver is really, you know, kind of becoming that bigger city, more urbanized and all those things, it's really nice to not carry all of those other problems that come with being in a bigger city around with you. And if you move outside of the Denver city limits into some of these suburbs, like I mentioned, you're going to have wonderful quality of life, good values, family-friendly communities, and you know, just people you can, you know, feel comfortable around and build community. So if you're thinking of a move to the Denver metro area and some of these things are what you're looking for in your next community, make sure you reach out, call, text, or email. I got you back on all things Denver real estate, and we'll get you set up for success on your move to Denver. And while you're here, don't forget to download the free relocation guide I have linked in the video description below. It has a lot of good information on, you know, median incomes, neighborhoods, things to do around the Denver metro area, and kind of get you started on your journey to the Mile High City. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.